Welcome to the Hero's Journey podcast. This is episode number 60. I'm your host, Nick. We're back with some more comics. There is a change to the format, which is maybe exciting, hopefully. What's happened is I'm noticing that not a lot of people are watching the podcast, which is okay. It's fine. It just, it makes it so that makes it difficult. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through, I'm going to read some comics. I'm going to keep pushing through. I'm going to read all the comics, all the stories of the issues. What I'm realizing is, look, in the day, between you and I, there's a lot of filler issues, a lot of issues where it's just the same old stuff that happens all the time, like Captain Marvel. Those stories are just the same old thing over and over. And there's like 4 stories in that guy's issue. And maybe people don't want to hear about what, he went up against the villain or whatever. So what I'm going to make this episode about, or this show about, I'm going to keep it going. And what I'm going to keep powering through the comic books. But I'm just going to read them and bring you the highlights. So when things change or improve or evolve or whatever, something happens in a book or to a book, or page reductions, new characters, changes to teams, end of a series, new series, all that fun stuff. I'm going to highlight that stuff. And what it's going to do, I'll tell you, is cut out quite a number of the issues that I'm presenting on the show. Look, we've done the big book of the week, and it was fun. But you saw it, and I saw it. Certainly Anthony, who's my faithful viewer, saw that a lot of these books don't get a lot of attention. People don't care about them. They're just like, they're fillers. And that's fine. So I'm going to skip presenting them because I'm going to read them. I'm telling you, I'm going to read them. You have to trust me. I'm going to read them. I'm going to go through them, but I'm just going to, move on and not worry about putting them in a presentation or a slideshow or in a podcast or whatever, because I don't think anyone cares except me. And telling you that I did my homework and read these issues. I don't think that's necessary, since this is only a personal project. Anyways, not out to prove anything to anyone. So without further ado, I'll show you the books that I'm highlighting this week, right? So I was doing 10 books. I've read a heck of a lot more than that, actually, for this episode, but I'm going to show you, I read more, but I'm going to show you less. Does that make sense? All right, let me get into it and I'll show you what's going on. So, okay. So share a screen. Wonderful. All right. So the first comic I'm going to highlight is All-Star Comics number 25. Why am I highlighting this issue? Because the team keeps changing in these issues. So if you look at All-Star Comics here, right? So there's the roll call on the bottom. All right. So Justice Society of America is Hawkman, Flash, the Atom, Dr. Midnight, Johnny Thunder, Green Lantern, right? And Wonder Woman as secretary. So what's interesting here is that Flash and Green Lantern are back as fighting members, no longer not just honorary, right? Still unfortunate that Wonder Woman is a secretary, but that's fine. No worries. And the whole issue revolves around the team. They investigate clues to help identify a man who has lost his memory, but they also solve a 20-year-old murder. So, crazy. Anyway, so there's the first splash page from that issue. Again, it's divided into chapters. Each hero goes out and investigates a clue to figure out this murder, and they all come together at the end. So standard format, change to the team. That's why I'm showing it. All right, next up, Blue Beetle, my favorite punching bag. However, I'm not here to beat up on Blue Beetle too much. It's Blue Beetle number 38, right? So this issue is actually 52 pages, and that's up from 36 pages from the last issue. So it goes up, goes down, can't make up your mind. So there were 3 Blue Beetle stories in this. That's up from 2 Blue Beetle stories last time, right? Again, the art's changed on this. It's got this square face. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. That's not my thing. Anyway, so in this issue, all right, also interesting is the first appearance of the Beetle boat. If you care about that, first appearance, Beetle boat. So you see Beetle plane, bringing people to the Beetle boat. Beetle. All right, good times. Anyway, so in the middle panels, one on the right, that is the first panel that the Beetle boat shows up. And that's it. There's more. Look, there's more comic craziness in this one. And Blue Beetle has ridiculous powers, and he can throw things around and fly and whatever. I don't even know why he needs the Beetle boat and the Beetle plane and whatever. Anyways, moving right along. Detective Comics number 100. I'm highlighting this issue because it's an issue 100, which seems a little underwhelming, I have to say. Because again, I grew up in the days of modern comics with the excess and gimmicks and all that stuff. When you got to issue 100, you made a big deal out of it. You had like some sort of prism cover, jewel on it, glow in the dark. I don't know, some sort of gimmick on it. But this, you don't even have like a main villain in there or anything crazy. Just Batman and Robin sparring off against what looks like a lumberjack and a war canoe. Why not? That's Detective. They're like, we got the 100. No big deal. Whatever. Back then, you didn't celebrate those kind of milestones, I guess. Maybe they did behind the scenes with some champagne. I don't know. World's Finest Comics. Nothing too crazy here. This is the final appearance of Star Spangled Kid and Stripesy in the series, right? So World's Finest Comics goes on for a few hundred issues, but this will be the last time we see Star Spangled Kid and Stripesy. They appeared in issues number 6 to 18. So this is their last appearance. Another fun World Finest comic cover. Still big, thick book, right? It's got a brick. It's still brick. It's still 15 cents, right? Ooh, big bucks for that one. Apparently Robin's pulling off a great stunt there. Next up. All right, did I tell you we're in June of 1945? Right, so we're still in June of 1945. That would have been where I left off in the last episode. That's where I picked up for this one. June 1945. Next up, Young Allies, number 16. Now, this is an Alex Schomburg cover, right? Great. Lots of action. You got Toro blasting out from the cave. I don't know if he's blasting through a wall or whatever. You got the big guy there about to just throw a little bomb on there. That's fun. And throwing some TNT in there, man. That is, and getting some bazooka being fired in there. Flamethrower. These guys are fish in a barrel. That is just terrible. Anyway, so this issue actually features someone I don't normally read about. So Tommy Time has a feature in the Young Allies books. It's Tommy Time in the Battle of the Giants. This story features the first appearance of Hercules in Marvel Comics. So how cool is that? So this is the Golden Age Hercules, of course, which is more the mythological Hercules as opposed to the character that will be introduced in the Silver Age, and is more of a superhero type character that falls into the continuity and has all sorts of adventures. This guy, the guy that's almost naked there on the front, like Venus de Milo there, he's doesn't leave much to the imagination. It is the guy with the green sash looking thing around his waist. That is Hercules. That's his first appearance in the Marvel Comics. I don't know if anyone cares about that, but his first appearance, Marvel. And I say Marvel because he's a fictional character in the public domain. Does also appear in some DC books. I believe he also appears in All-Star 8 would be his first appearance, I believe, in DC. So that would have been in the that first Wonder Woman story, I believe. If I had to take a guess, and I can't. It was a long time ago since I read All-Star 8, so I can't tell you for sure. But anyway, so this is Marvel. This is timely, right? We got that. So it's a timely book, but this is his first appearance in this universe, world, whatever you want, New Earth, or whatever Earth it is. Sorry. And that's it. So those are the highlights of the week. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I've highlighted. I probably read like, a good 20 or so. Some had a lot of stories in them, sound a lot going on. Even some of these had more going on. But at the end of the day, to be honest, there wasn't much to report. So in the other books, so I'm telling you what's going on in these books. And like I'm showing you Detective Comics number 100 with, kind of nothing cover. Just to show you that it's issue 100. So there's just not a lot going on in those, in that issue. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I need to step it up. Like, I understand that part of the issue might be that I'm not showing my hands physically on these issues. I can tell you this, there's absolutely no way I can own all of these books and be reading them. I love the guys that have the podcasts and shows that show off all the books that they've picked up and whatever. But I'm trying to read these books in sequence. I'm not trying to pick them up here and there and random stuff and pick up issue 20 and then number 1 and whatever. And the golden age, we've seen some of the price of these things. They are beyond my reach. My humble meager salary doesn't allow me to buy all the golden age books that I want. And certainly, when you have a major first appearance, I would never get to read that book. So, unless it's a reprint, sure. But look, I'm just trying to read through these issues, trying to find out what's going on. I want to see these characters evolve. I want to see where they came from, what makes them tick, and all that fun stuff. So look, I don't know what I can do to get more eyeballs on this show. I'll sing a tune, do a little twirl, dance, whatever you want. I don't care. Anyway, I figure if I'm bringing more highlights to the table, as opposed to featuring some of the more filler type issues, then maybe this will garner a little more excitement from people. Anyway, look, whatever. We'll try different things, see what happens. This is just a fun little hobby I have anyway. So, do whatever the heck I want. So that's it for the show. So I'm going to try a new format. I'm just going to read a bunch of books and I'm going to get back to you and let you know what exciting things were in these books. So the last issue was Young Allies number 16. And that was the last issue for June 1945. So I'll be into July of 1945. For those keeping score, that now I'm into the second half of 1945. I really think 1945 so far has been fairly underwhelming. And I know 1946 will have more changes and things coming. I don't know about first appearances, but I know series start, series end, 1946 is going to be kind of more of, I feel, when the publishers start changing directions, after the war, they're like, oh, what do we do now? Right? So this is where they start to change things up, maybe try to entice some new readers coming in, since probably everyone's fatigued about all the stories about the war, and that the war is over and people probably want to move on from it and put it behind them and look forward to some more fun superhero stuff that's more exciting. So I'm looking forward to that too. So July of 1945, we're still in 1945, still got the war going on, lots of war stories still. They are winding down. You can see that again. DC heading more towards funny books, Marvel heading more towards horror type stories. I am looking forward to seeing what these publishers have in store for me. And I'm going to keep reading them, and I'm going to bring you the highlights. It might be shorter episodes. If I'm long-winded enough, I don't know, maybe a little bit longer. You never know what's going to be in store. You tune in next time and we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you very much.